Hey, folks, welcome to a very quiet session here today. I'm not appearing. Why am I not appearing? Not that you need to see my face, but there we go. Let's try this now. There we go. Okay, good morning, all. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And this is kind of impromptu. I have nothing planned really to talk about. An article off of Zero Hedge. I posted this in the forum yesterday. And it really speaks to the need for us to keep an eye on events unfolding with the supply chain. And here we go. Why is this not letting me log in? Oh, I see. Now I know why people are getting that error message. Okay, we'll get that fixed. All right, so I posted this in the community yesterday. And I normally post here. Here we go. Apple orders Foxconn to shift some Macbook and Ipod production from China to Vietnam. We've been talking about this supply chain shift ever since March. I said, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Foregone conclusion. They need to do it. This is a national security issue. And sure enough, Apple's been doing this for a while now, but you're hearing it more and more come from these companies. Hey, Pat. Costco, Big Bear, Joseph, good morning. Good morning, everybody. PLTR, yeah, we can go over that for you. So keep an eye on VNM. Long story short, VNM is the Vietnamese ETF. Inside day today, but you can see if you pull back to a monthly time frame. I mean, this is in fuego. I had an opportunity to open up a position a few weeks ago on a pullback. I waited for more of a pullback. It didn't come. And it just took off. So we'll probably get another shot, ideally, on the VNM if we pull back and do a retest, probably after the new year, of, say, $15.50, $15 per share. If lucky, a real serious retest of the breakout point in the high 14s. I think that at that point in time, you need to just hold your nose, start dollar cost averaging in, because this thing is going up higher, along with India. India is doing very well. And the Chinese know this. They're building a wall along the Vietnamese border to keep their talent from leaving and going to work in Vietnam. So, more to come on this story. Let's take a look at the indexes. U.S. Steel, which we're short of, was positive. I wanted to add to the short. You can see how my alert's set here. I wanted to add to the short at resistance up at around 15 to maybe 15.50. But as you can see, sellers have moved in, and they're taking it off the lows yet. You know what? It's a cyclical stock, very volatile. While I would love to go leaning into the short side right now, I know a buy order could come down between now. It's an abbreviated day. I think it's 1 o'clock we close today. Between now and 1 o'clock today, I think it's in a buy order up here and just spike it up higher. So I'm going to wait. If we don't get the $15.50 to $15 mark, then we'll just sit with our current position. We'll be satisfied with it. And we're coming in, which is good. Gold this morning, I titled this, "Is it time to sell gold?" I think that what you're seeing here, I replied to on Twitter, JC Parent put out a tweet yesterday about gold, and he was quizzing about whether or not it was going to break out or break down. I said it's probably going to break out. And, you know, if you're using one day as a trend, obviously, then okay, I'm wrong. But I think that what you're seeing right now is a a washout of week longs, and this is probably the bottom here. I mean, you would think that the junior miners would be heading down lower as well, and while yes, the GDXJ, which we bought more of, more aggressively down here in the pre-market on, what was it, Tuesday, you would think that they would be down in sympathy as well. They're down, but slightly. So I think that what you're getting is a washout of week longs. And why am I saying that? Let's go to a couple of charts here. Take a look at your US dollar. For those not familiar, the dollar, or I should say gold, is priced in US dollars. So as goes the dollar, inversely goes gold traditionally. Can there be correlations at times? Sure. And there is a correlation right now, but historically that is not the norm. They trade inversely of one another. And we are trading at lows not seen on the US dollar since August. And in all probability, we are going to break here. That's one reason why. Two, tips. Treasury inflation protected securities, very close to all-time highs. When do you want to own gold? When there's inflation. When do you want to buy tips? When there's inflation. Why are people buying the tips right now? Because they see inflation. But it's just not reflected in the gold market. It is reflected in the tip market. If you overlay gold relative to the tips, historically, they trade in tandem. And I can go on with this. So I think that gold is probing a bottom at current. For those looking for a price target, at least on the GLD, we're probably coming down to, we could go down to 165. But you're going to see a massive rally off of, my guess is 165.50, thereabouts. You're going to see a rally off of that level. And it's at that point that it's probably the lows, and you really need to take advantage of it. Daily chart, it gapped it down. Watch volume. Volume today is going to be light no matter what. But, it wasn't hard for them to do what they did today. There's no volume on gold. So, dropping, is it not ironic that the one day they gapped gold down lower below critical support is on a day where it's an abbreviated day, post-holiday? Give me a break. So, if anything, I view this as an opportunity to build on gold positions. Don't have any gold. Is it worth to buy now? I would, if you're going to do it, average in. Average in. I see very little downside here. I see a lot of upside. If you believe that the US dollar is going lower, you need to buy gold. If you believe that the tips are going to break out due to inflation, you need to buy gold, because the purchasing power of the US dollar is in decline. The charts are telling us that. It's just a matter of, at current, nobody wants gold. Everybody wants EV and SPAC stocks. That's what they want. People are not excited by gold, right? And that's okay. We want to look as contrarians where nobody else is happy with buying. So we're seeing all the signs of why gold should be going up, yet it's going down. Well, you know what? I'm willing to speculate and put on long trades. So I like gold. Average in. Don't go all in. There could be lower lows here. So average in. And I could always be wrong. I could always be wrong. Who am I? Right? So if the dollar rallies and the tips drop, well, then I'm wrong. So, but I think it's a good time to be buying gold here. Let's take a look at the indexes. S&P, flat. You're not going to see much happen here today. The only reason why I went live is just to say hello and just go over some chart requests. And the Russell, again, flat. It's going to be light volume day. Let's check back in with our U.S. steel. Trade, it's underperforming the market, which is good to see. Very extended on a weekly time frame above its third standard deviation Bollinger Band. It's one of the primary reasons why we shorted it. At current, this 4-hour bar. We're not going to get a second 4-hour bar today because it's a half day. But at current, this 4-hour bar is showing a bearish reversal bar. So looks like we have a lower high in RSI. So we'll see how it plays out. We probably won't close out the trade today unless they sell it off hard. We may close it out on Monday. GDXJ bouncing back here a bit. Let's go over some chart requests. PLTR for Joseph. Then we have Pat with PIC and SRAC. Let's do it. For those folks not using TrendSpider, link below. Today, I believe, is the last day or one of the last days of the 50% off promotion. Don't use my discount code. That'll only get you 35% off. Use the link below, go to their website, and they automatically give you 50% off. All right, so PLTR, Plantron, Palantir. Very overbought. Where's our RSI? 88.14. $89 on stock charts. Be very, very careful here. I would not initiate a long trade. I would be looking to make some profits real here because you're at nosebleed overbought levels. I don't know how much historical data there is here. Not much. I mean, so I think you're starting to see some profit takers move in now, which is the wise thing to do. They did reverse it off the lows of the session. This is a 15-minute chart now. Lower highs, though, on your Stokes. Yeah, they ripped it right through the 3D Bollinger Band. I would not initiate a new trade. If anything, I'd be looking to short it. There are no options. You'd have to get the common. At least that's what stockcharts.com is saying here, but options, no. So I would not initiate a new trade. If anything, I'd be looking to short if you can get the shares. Pat, pick. Wow. You want to re-enter long, Pat, huh? I don't know. It's very extended. Very extended. It's very similar to the 24th, where we got extended. Could easily pull back here. RSI is where? Let's bring it up here. I think it's at 89. $84. You know, anything is possible nowadays. There's so much rampant speculation that, you know, me personally, I would not initiate a new trade here. I don't see a risk-reward opportunity that would allow me to sleep at night. That doesn't mean it's not going up higher. So would I, from a risk-reward perspective, open up a position here? No way. Because you're trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. You know, you could use this stock to see that this doesn't end well. Back here, we were above, same situation, RSI overbought. We had RSI above 95 at the time. Crazy. Can it do one of these numbers? This is very similar to this chart here. This Can we move up yet again? Yeah, but I think the path of least resistance is going to be to the downside. So I would be looking to, if you could do a short on it, do a short on it. I would not enter long. And I would wait to see how we close out the day. I wouldn't short it right here, right now, because they could rally it back, close it at the highs of the day, spike it up again on Monday. I don't see just because it's overbought on the Bollingers doesn't necessarily mean that I would want to short it right here, right now. They could still spike it up higher. And even if they don't gap it down on Monday, to alleviate the overbought Bollingers, all you need to do is trade sideways one day. And you have a consolidation that sets the stage for another move up higher. I would watch for RSI going back above that 90 mark, and I would look to short the shares. That's my take. I know it's a sexy stock to get long of, but I can't. It's just not my style. SRAC. Nuts. Again, another stock where, SPAC stock, I'm not sure what this is, but it's another one where you have rampant speculation in here. And generally, it doesn't end well to initiate a new trade here. I would love to be the guy that says, you know what, the momentum's at your back, and it is. It's a fact. Can they rally back to the highs of the day? Sure. Anything is possible. I know very little, and the market knows everything. So the only thing you have to fall back on is your risk-reward setup. Do I feel comfortable here with opening a new trade or carrying a large position? And my answer would be no. If I would be, the market right here, right now is telling you need to be scaling out. RSI daily time frame is at 88. You're nearly 89. Trading above the 3D Bollinger Bands. Can it go up to RSI 94, 95? Absolutely. I wouldn't discount it. But it's at this stage of the game where you have new money rotating in. The smart money should be scaling out. And you don't have to worry about commissions. Just scale out a little bit. Book those profits. Make them real. I couldn't initiate a new trade here. You could take a look at an intraday chart. I'm not a day trader. These are far too volatile charts for me. But it looks as though, looking at a 15-minute chart, if you had to ask me if I didn't look at the daily and weekly time frames yet, is this stock going higher or lower? I'd have to say it's going up higher. That's simply going by a 15-minute chart, which it appears as though we're about to break out on. RSI looking good. We have a W formation with higher lows. Looks very good on a 15-minute time frame. That could change on a dime. So we're breaking out at current 15-minute time frame. This candlestick will close in less than 1 minute. Let's see if it closes above it. While I sip my lukewarm coffee. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Good? Hopefully. Oh, so Pat, they're working with SpaceX. Okay. Didn't know that. Good information. All right, we have a successful breakout here. Watch for a retest of the 15-minute candlestick, and then it'll probably shoot up higher. Very light volume day. Very easy to move the stock around. Let's see how my U.S. Steel is doing. GDXJ went positive. Let's see what gold is doing. Yeah, so we're beginning to bottom here a little bit. Doesn't mean we can't rally off of these lows. Right? Here's a 15-minute chart. We can rally. Does that mean that we want to see a pullback? And ideally a higher low? Yes. Could we put in a lower low? Sure. We already went over the chart of the GLD, showing us that on the GLD we have support at what did I say, 165, 166, around there. We hit 166.50. You know what? Close enough for government work. We hit support. They're rallying off of it. So if you're looking for an opportunity to open up a gold trade right now, fine to nibble, but ideally what you want to see are pullbacks and higher lows get put in, right? That'll tell you that if you put in a higher low, then break out to a new higher high, the trend is beginning to change. If we continue to make lower lows and lower highs, then you may want to, you could nibble, but you want to stay very, very small because you're speculating at that point for a bottom. Can you look at ARKK, current average 105? Of course I can. No retest of support. No real follow-through on SARC yet, 15-minute time frame. ARKK, ARK Innovation. Very nice chart. 105 is your basis cost. Good entry point. So it looks like you bought on a successful breakout. Looks like you had a bit of a retest here, the filling of the gap. You bought right. Very nice. Well done. Very nice chart. This is very nice. I think it goes up higher. RSI looking very, very strong. I don't see much data here to go by. Well, maybe we do. Hold on. Let's check this out. Let's check out the seasonality. All right, this goes back only 6 years. November up 100% of the times. December seasonality, very interesting. It's never been up in the month of December. You can't base everything on seasonality, right? We could have a very strong beginning of December, but ultimately a poor close on the month. So it doesn't mean effective December 1, you need to be out of the shares. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to close down on the month. It just means that over the past 6 years, not a lot of data here that it hasn't closed up. It's just a little bit of information, nothing serious to trade off of. So ARKK looking good. I'd stay long. I think it goes up higher. SLV, silver. Pat, conversion to XL December. What does that mean, Pat? You're welcome, Costco. SLV, Big Bear. All right, so we're along of the AGQ, very similar. I want to buy more. Let's throw up a monthly chart. So, despite the fact that I'm long and I would love to see the shares go up higher, unfortunately, we can't. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Thanks, Pat. Hey, Manoj. Absolutely. So ideally, we close out the day above 21.54, right? Because today, actually, no, Monday's the last trading day. Ideally, we close out on Monday above 21.54. That marks real serious support. As a matter of fact, you can move this down, actually, and say, you know what, a close above 21.25 would be a positive, right? But this bearish reversal bar on the month is very disturbing, to be honest with you. So would I be willing to step in here and buy more at current? No. Seasonality. Going into December, going back 15 years, 50% of the times, January is the month you want to be long of silver. Over 15 years, up nearly 80% of the times. November, December, not wonderful periods of time. You know, in recent years, though, that has changed a bit. If you go back to, let's say, let's go back to January 12. You know, the seasonality in January has gotten better, where in November, December, it's gotten even a little bit weaker. So just be careful. It's breaking down, and when you combine the technicals with the seasonality factor, it's a bit concerning. But the flip side here is that we know January is strong. We know the dollar is getting ready to break to lower lows. We know the chips are breaking out to higher highs. That influences silver as well as gold. Hey, Will. Same to you, my friend. Thank you very much. So silver, I want to be bullish on. I can't yet. TCEHY, 10 cent. Oh, Chinese stock. This is a monthly chart. And it wants to go higher. You can see it. We did put it in a new monthly high. We rallied off the lows of the month. Last month, you saw a very nice breakout. I did not mean to put this line up here. Remove. Nice breakout. Weekly chart. Nice consolidation here. Nice consolidation of gains. Daily chart. I'd be looking here for, I think it could be bought. Nibble. Opening position. Stop loss right below. I like the support in here at 73.93. Just keep in mind, when you apply your automated trend lines, you have resistance above. RSI looking good. 10 cent. I'm not a big fan of Chinese stocks, so I'll put that out there. But RSI is broken out. It looks like it wants to go higher. So I think that this is a fairly good risk-reward entry point to get long. Indian stocks that you recommend. I like I'm not all that familiar with individual companies. There are a couple of automotive companies in India that are good. Some steel companies. I like the ETFs. When I do emerging markets, it's a tricky area. So I like this ETF. I know it's not sexy, but I'm a big bull on India. This is the Wisdom Tree India Earnings Fund, and we're moving up higher. It's a steady eddy. It just keeps going up higher, and it's been doing that for months. So I think one thing that you could do, it's very similar to Vietnam with the breakout. One thing you could do is go to the what do you call it? The top 10 holdings of EPI. You can find them on your brokerage account under the information for EPI. Take a look at those stocks because those are probably the leaders in India. So I would probably stay large cap, the well-known stocks if you're going to go individual names. But this is going up higher, very bullish on India. You're welcome, Manoj. All right. Let's circle back, see if anything has changed. I don't expect much to be happening here. U.S. Steel. We have broken down a bit. We've lost a bit of momentum on U.S. Steel, which is good to see. And you can see it illustrated here on RSI. I only wish they pumped it up higher to a 15 handle. And you saw lower highs in RSI, yet we had broken out earlier in the day. And now we have broken that upside momentum a bit. What you really want to see at this point is a break to new lower lows and a sell-off into the close. But again, I want to wait to see how they close it out. For all I know, they're going to spike it right back up again. So when you're trading overbought stocks and looking to short them, it's best to wait. Wait till later in the session to ensure that you don't have a flood of buy orders coming in and you're sorry that you traded intraday. And that's why I was never really great at day trading. I like to strategize and to open up trades late in the day. Good morning, Franklin. How's your Thanksgiving? Good, I hope. Anthony. Hey, Bob, I ate too much turkey. Yeah, you and me both, pal. My dogs, too. They're both sick this morning. What else do we have here? Bitcoin took a big hit yesterday. Continues to take a big hit. Wow. We could easily retrace back down to this rising support level, 16,223. If you're looking for a support level on Bitcoin, it looks very good. And I think it's probably going to get there. Yeah, smash the like button. Thank you. I would have forgotten. Guaranteed. Good to hear, Franklin. SPI? No, we didn't go over SPI. You want us to go over it? We can do that. I don't have an agenda today. I'm just hanging out. Light volume day. There's really not much to do. SPI. Very strong chart. But it's come a long way, a very long way, in a very short period of time. RSI, rock solid, looks very good. But, as I always point out, we're trading above these the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. I know I'm like a broken record, but that's not a good risk-reward entry point. That doesn't mean it can't go higher short term. On the week, big topping action. You've seen profit taking on these shares. If you're looking for an entry point, I think $11 a share is interesting. Might we hold the support level here? 1168, sure. You want to see it consolidate at that level for a little while, but we're pulling back off the highs of the day. I don't find it all that attractive. I think it can get, what's the symbol again? SPI. very light volume sell-off here. You could always do this. You know, take your crayon out. Just beware here. We're testing on a 4-hour chart, which is not insignificant. We're testing the lower band of support. So ideally, you want to see a close above this line in red, which is at current around, let's call it 12.11 per share. We're at 12.10 at current, so we're right there. And if you break out above this upper band of resistance, then it's game on to the long side. Casper, I think you did a great job in that crude trade. Very nice. Did you get my email? Reply to that, Casper? The higher low, that was your key. What do you think about Brent crude and AEX? Probably the only one here that likes to know. Yeah, Brent crude we don't go over that much. Usually the light sweet crude. For those who are not familiar, Casper's over in the Netherlands. But let's check out Brent. You know, the weekly time frame, we have granted about a day and a couple of hours to go before this chart is in the books. But at current, it looks as though we are breaking out above significant resistance. This is a no-joke breakout. Daily chart, a bit of a pause here. It's not overbought. We could rally back easily. Four-hour time frame. Good support here. At around, what's the low? Low is 47.34. So you're consolidating. You know, if you're looking to put on a trade, me personally, I would either buy at the support level, stay small. Then once we begin to break out and above this upper band of resistance, lean into it to the long side. Because then you're going to get a continuation breakout. So it's a good looking chart. It's probably heading up higher. Yeah, Brent looks strong. It's taking a pause now, but you have to, you know, if you had to hazard a guess, you know, which way it's going to go. Is it going to go? Is it going to break out or break down? You know, I may be a contrarian, but we don't ignore trends here. So the probability of a breakout vastly outweighs the probability of a breakdown. And, you know, you need to take a look at other indicators as well. If you take a look at the dollar, the dollar is just a mess. So if the dollar breaks down to lower lows and breaks the August lows, where you're going to see gold move up high, not gold, excuse me. You should see gold move up higher, but you're going to see oil move up higher because what is oil priced in? U.S. dollars. So that is going to be very bullish for both gold and oil, because rising energy prices, despite what the Federal Reserve likes to say, they like to back out conveniently food and energy prices from core just to look at core CPI, which is a consumer price index. The reality is that it's inflationary. So that should bode well for commodity prices. Big bull on commodity prices. I think that right now is the opportunity to really take advantage of what people are just ignoring, is the opportunity in gold. That's fine. Let them. AEX. Looks like U.S. Steel caught a bid here. It's back positive again. Let's see if it forms a right side shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and breaks down. We'll take a look at it later on. So that's the AEX, the Euro next. Probably spelt that wrong. There we go. Oh, no, that's the, yeah, Amsterdam. There we go. Late night last night. All right. Euro next. Checking my dates here to make sure I'm looking at a real. This is as of the 26th. Okay. Good. So this is not up to date, right? This is as of yesterday. So I'm looking at old data here. The close yesterday, a bit of a fade on the day. That's not it. I don't know the symbol for the AEX on Thinkorswim. I hate to go off of old data. It looks as though it wants to go up higher. A bit of a resistance at 610, but the path of least resistance remains higher here on AEX. We're a bit extended on a weekly time frame, but that doesn't mean it can't go up higher. So I know you like to short, Casper. I'm not. I wouldn't be willing to put on a short trade here just yet. Now you may want to jot this number down. 618 is pretty stiff resistance on the AEX. So 618. And a real sexy area to look to get short is if they pump this thing up higher to 632. That would be a very exciting entry point to the short side if they take it straight up. That's my take on AEX. NNDM. Extended weekly time frame. Kissing the 3D Bollinger Band. Automatically, I get my neck up about that. Yeah. So they're spiking it higher. You're looking at a reversal day here. Possibly. I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't buy it. I think this is one of the, I get the volatility feeling here that this is one where they could spike it up. You know, if you have the stomach for it, hold on to it. You'll probably see RSI 80, 85, 90, one of those deals. But as an entry point, what I would do is this. If you're hell-bent on trading it, I would watch for a filling of the gap at around $5.75 per share. That's what I would do. Okay. APPN. Oof. So Franklin, looking for an exit, but don't want to leave a lot on the table. Use a trailing stop loss. think about it this way. If you would have used a trailing stop loss order, let's say a 5% trailing stop loss order, you would have already using like scale out, right? Use X amount of shares to be sold at 5% sell off, and you would have had some money taken off the table within this wick. So you have RSI near 90. This is, if we close with a topping tail like this, the market's sending you a signal that you have profit takers above, and where there's some profit takers at these levels, there's probably more. And I would be looking to make these profits real. I really would. You want to keep a few shares on the table for speculative purposes, fine. But I would be looking to make these profits real. Because look at what's happened in the past when you've seen this setup. We're in a very speculative mania. Right now, the put-call ratio is at a ridiculously low price. Sentiment is aggressively bullish. So it's in environments like this where you want to say, you know what? I appreciate the environment that we're in. It's a highly speculative Robinhood day trade environment. These guys don't want to sell. So that's fine. Let's be aware of the environment, acknowledge it, because in the past, once we've been like this, it hasn't ended well, right? Back here, August of 19. Back here, June of 18. Back here, January of 18. Back here, February of 20. So me, I would be ringing the bell. You're welcome, Franklin. All right, folks. Oh, Apple, Costco. We'll leave off with Apple. Apple, looking at the candlesticks, I would say that Apple is going to go up higher. But you watching ABUS. Amerimigos, he's in the forum. I'll do it live. This is the value of the forum. Okay. So ABUS. All right, so you got into some options for long on 115s. Okay. I like this setup on the candlesticks. I do. Here's my however. I hate these Stokes. I hate Stokes down below 50 more than I hate liver. If I'm long, I don't like Stokes down below 50 because they're a threat. Because rallies tend to fade. And that gets me nervous. Now, if these Stokes, which they appear to be trying to, like we did back here, they leveled off, spiked, but then they failed. You're seeing lower highs, and I don't like that. Down volume, as you would expect this week, is light, so we really can't go by. It's a holiday week. Daily chart. Stokes is still weak here. RSI back above 50, which is good. Seasonality, it's probably fairly good this time of year. Going back 9 years, that's inaccurate. It's not good. Let's go back as far as we can. Apple, over 36 years, up 54% of the times in November, December, 58% of the times. So really, not amazing this time of year. If I would have said up 60, 70% of the times anecdotally. Let's go back to, January of 2000. That's 21 years. Consistent, fairly consistent behavior. And when you drill down to recent time frames, 11 years, December, it's fairly consistent. It actually gets a little bit worse. So just beware. Seasonality is not favorable. It's not unfavorable, but you don't have an edge with seasonality. Stokes are a bit weak here. I would not get heavy with the call options. I think it's speculative. The chart looks good for a probable breakout, but the weekly Stokes have me concerned. I won't lie about that. Wrong chart. Yeah, and I drew these. This is a different weekly chart, and I warned about this. I made notes to myself. These Stokes are weak and getting weaker, but RSI did manage to break out. And we are poised to close back above this resistance level. So we have a W formation formed, higher low. We could see a breakout here on Apple. I think odds favor bulls, despite the fact I have my concerns about these Stokes. So I would not get overly aggressive to the long side using call options, though. You're using 115 December 18 strikes. Ooh, the expiration's a little bit tight. I don't like front month contracts. I don't know. There's really not a situation that I really like that I'd be buying contracts with a front month. I don't like them because the time decay is such a killer. So I usually like to go out at the bare minimum 90 days on them. If I'm selling them, I'll use the weeklies or the monthlies. But I don't like to buy the call options when the front months are, the time decay is such a bitch. I got to be careful with YouTube here. But they're Apple options. They're very, very liquid. So if they break out, they will react. They're not going to be manipulated. So I think if you're buying front month contracts, Apple's the stock you want to do it with. Triple Q names, Microsoft, etc. So good luck with the trade, and I hope you get a big win. All right, folks, if I can ask you to smash that like... Oh, I got to do ABUS. ABUS for Amerimigo. Right? ABUS. Hey, Amerimigo. All right. Let's go to very nice. A little bit extended here. But I think the longer term view is that we are setting up for a major run here. Looking at a monthly time frame, higher lows on Stokes. We are breaking out on Stokes. Higher lows RSI. We've broken out on RSI. This is the Pimp Mac Daddy. You want to see a close above around 450 per share. Oddly enough, or not so oddly enough, where do we have resistance at that level? right back here. We're right at it. Look at all the times that this has acted as support or resistance going back many, many years. All right, so this is not an insignificant resistance level at the 450 mark. It's very critical that we close above it, because when we do, you're going to see a monster rally on this thing. So the stars are in alignment here. Weekly chart looks good. The only negative I have to say about it, and it's very minor, is that the daily chart is a little bit extended. That's all. A little bit extended. It's probably going up higher. You know, if you're long of it already, good. I would hold it. It's probably going up higher. Is your breakout point? For me, it's a little bit too far beyond the breakout point. Normally, I would like to enter no more than 3% beyond the breakout point, or on a pullback to 375. Right now, if you bought it, you're buying right at resistance. But I think ultimately, this is going to get resolved to the upside. It looks good. And my bullishness is not based on a weekly chart or a daily chart. It's based on the culmination of monthly price action. So it looks good. All right, folks. Everybody have a great, great remainder of your, I guess, kind of like an extended weekend, right? And you're welcome, Eric Migo. And enjoy the weekend. And I will talk to you soon. On Sunday Night Futures Live, please check in. We'll go live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a link below to get added to our email list. If you're on any one of our email lists, you're going to get alerted 15 minutes prior to us going live. Don't re-enter your email address. Only get it once. So join us 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday evening, and I will talk to you then. Be well.